During the Sussex's incident in the US, Harry got up to his tricks when Meghan abruptly interrupted him. Meghan Markle's concerns about Harry have been laid bare in the alternate memoirs, and it looks like she was right on at least one aspect. Hello and a warm welcome to our YouTube channel Princess Diana News. There are some facts about Meghan Markle that we can't deny. This woman can wear thousands of dollars worth of cashmere very well. He is to the humble selfie what Monet was to the canvas. We know she loves a good selfie. Plus, Meghan has been by his side since she and Harry announced they were getting married in 2017. I mean, it was as if the two were linked. She is always by his side. They were very conflicted. They supported each other and appeared in each other's video calls with a certain atmosphere that some described as cute and others as absolutely disgusting. But 2023 is a new year, and an amazing new year when it comes to royal news. So Meghan was apparently worried about Harry's decision to write his autobiography. How amazing is that? According to Camilla Toney in the British Telegraph, the idea that Meghan's fingerprints are all over Harry's notes and that she is the one pulling the strings is actually not true. He says that could be further from the truth. As reported by the Telegraph, sources indicate that Meghan has kept a low profile about the concept of the note and expressed some concern about whether the move was the right one. Given that Meghan is the woman who told the Netflix cameras, doesn't it make sense to hear our story from us? Yes, it is very surprising. And the interesting thing about Meghan's ambivalence is that she seems to be completely right. I mean, Harry's decision to spend almost 400 pages attacking his family and also explaining to Gus why we shouldn't put Elizabeth Arden cream on our genitals. It did some damage to Meghan and Harry's reputation. 3 polls were published last week, all of which painted a grim picture for Meghan and Harry, not only in the UK but also in the US. New data from Ipsos shows that even after Meghan and Harry criticized the royal family and the monarchy, everyone with official guidelines is still doing well. As a result, William and Catherine's performance in the UK has declined slightly, according to an Ipsos poll released on Tuesday. They lost to William by 8 points and to Catherine by 7 points. But they had only just regained support before the Queen's death. For the King, it's basically the same story. It fell by 1% only after the exit of deposits. For the King and his son William, the percentage of respondents who believe they will do a good job on the throne is about the same as last year. But we can't say the same about Harry and Meghan. So, when it comes to getting approved in the US, you have to put up with a lot. According to the data. In the United States, Meghan's support dropped 8 points to 25% of people who have a favorable opinion of her. And for Harry, well, he got an amazing 21-point shot. His approval rating now stands at 31%, perhaps worse. William, whom Harry calls his nemesis in the book, actually trails him at 40% even after announcing to anyone who would listen that his brother assaulted him during an argument in 2019. Now Catherine beats everyone. Not only is it trusted by the highest percentage of people in the United States that S approval rating is 67%, but in fact, even the smallest percentage views her negatively. Only 11% of respondents viewed this negatively. Best of all, Spare doesn't appear to have changed a thing when it comes to supporting William and Catherine's team. But for the complaining Montecitos, it was, and not in a good way. So, in deciding to write the memoir, it seems like Harry took quite a risk that telling his story, including the story about his icy penis, would end up tipping the scales of public support in his favor, and maybe even away from the crown. Instead, what we're learning from the data that has come out over the last week is that while public interest has been pretty high with Harry's story, the book has not managed to trigger anything like the tidal wave of public support that his mother had after Diana Her True Story came out back in 1992. With the release of Spare, the world has really just gotten up close and personal with Harry, and we have not come away feeling in love or impressed with him either. In fact, for Harry, the decision to reveal so many small, often petty details and complaints about his older brother, his sister-in-law, and his father too, and in breaching their privacy in such an obvious way, Harry has managed to open himself up to a whole new wave of criticism that otherwise he probably would have been spared. Now, of course, Harry spent a lot of time in the book railing against the press and their constant intrusions into his personal life. Now he does it to his own family, without any hint of irony. Concerns are growing that Meghan and Harry are indeed overestimating themselves in the United States. Southern United States. Soon, Harry and Meghan will have to turn to something that goes beyond repeating their old troubles over and over again. But so far, Harry and Meghan haven't moved at all. In fact, with Harry's book, Harry doubled down on his chronological account of our suffering. Judging by these Ipsos numbers, it seems Meghan's gentle concerns were well-founded. And there are also some other signs that indicate that people in the United States. He is bored of both. In December, The Atlantic published an article titled "Harry and Meghan's Unfortunate End" on Netflix. And the article says the former princes insist they will continue. The audience must be so happy, and this month, the New York Times, which is a very liberal publication, and has mostly been sympathetic to the two of them anyway, they ran a story with the headline, "Has Prince Harry's confessional tour run its course?" And they wondered, even in the United States, which has a high tolerance for redemptive stories about overcoming trauma and family dysfunction, the tide seems to be turning. Now, even though Spare has certainly made a lot of money for both Harry and Meghan and the publisher, Penguin Random House, the professional auguries for the couple are very much a mixed bag right about now. On Monday, the news came out that Spotify's chief content officer, Don Ostroff, the person who agreed to pay the two of them a reported $35 million for their podcasting talent, has left the business altogether. Now, the only meaningful podcasting foray the two of them are responsible for would be Meghan's Archetype series. And I don't think anyone out there would argue that it really brought value for money to the platform. And then we have to consider that for the next 11 months of the year we have a documentary about Harry's Invictus Games. And that sums up his entire list of confirmed upcoming works. Well, I guess the bright side is that they now have enough time to make vegetarian salads and enjoy eating chicken or whatever they make. They have not signed new contracts with a new company since 2021, when Harry's deal with Penguin Random House was first announced. And Harry did not appear on behalf of BetterUp, where he has been named chief influencer since last October. So the future is now with Meghan and Harry, and while I'm sure there's someone out there who is currently excited about all the possibilities that lie ahead while furiously scribbling on a toxic whiteboard and some tags as idea generators and blueprints, speculators are still asking the question, where can Meghan and Harry go from here? In the 3 years since Megxit, the world has experienced COVID, a global pandemic. The world witnessed the death of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, as well as an attempted coup d'état in the United States, 2 Donald Trump impeachment trials, 7 new Marvel movies and a war breaking out in Eastern Europe. So basically what we're saying is that the world is a very different place than it was in January 2020, and it has certainly changed. But can Harry and Meghan do it, or will they? That concludes my news for today. What do you think about that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and we can also discuss Meghan and Harry and their future in the United States. Please feel free to subscribe to our Princess Diana news channel for more updates in the future. Now, thank you very much for your attention. Good night, I'll come back to see you tomorrow.